Now, when you first heard about the Hillsborough disaster, you're the new commissioner, now lead commissioner for Hillsborough for the IPCC. When you first heard about the disaster, where were you?
You mean on the 15th of April 1989?
Yeah.
I was at home. I was resting. I remember the moment very well because I was listening to the radio, and I was actually listening to Radio 4, and it was a breaking news. They interrupted the programme, and before I even heard what the presenter was saying, I heard the emotion in his voice, and I sort of sat up and thought something bad is happening. And he started to he was describing what he could see. And at that point, obviously, we had no idea how bad it was going to be. It was the very early stages. And then early the next day, I went into hospital and had my first child, my son. So I didn't actually hear what had happened. And then I came out from hospital and I heard the news. And I just remember being struck with just how horrendous, unbelievably awful that it was. And I remember it very intensely.
Because we fast forward now, these 23 years, it's been a journey, an agonising journey in some cases for the families, and a lot of them are perhaps still not satisfied that they can trust the police or trust an investigation. You've met with the families. What assurances have you given them that this will be a process they can trust?
Look, let's be clear, I've said to you that I was just having my son, and he's gone from being just over a foot long to over 6 foot tall. That's an awful lot of waiting, isn't it? If I was one of the families, I wouldn't trust. They've been let down too many times. So I don't say, trust me, I will do this, I will do that. Obviously, that's what I'm working towards, to achieve that, and I would like to achieve that. But my focus is on ensuring that we deliver this investigation. So what I've done is I've spent an awful lot of time with the families, listening, asking them to tell me what the things that are important to them. And I've been really moved and really grateful how much time they've been prepared to spend with me, telling me about their experiences and telling me what's important to them. But, they've waited such a long time, and it would be very hard for them, I think, to have any faith or trust that anything's going to be delivered until it actually is. And I think what I'm reassuring them at the moment is we're absolutely focusing on delivering on time for the coroner, for the inquest to start at the end of March next year.
There's a lot to be done for that, isn't there?
There is.
Hundreds of police statements to go through. How confident are you that you will deliver in time?
I'm confident we're making excellent progress. I'm confident we're on track, and which is all I could be at this point. But it is a daunting, challenging timescale, and I'm very aware of that. And I'm very keen, that I want updates on a not quite daily, but more than weekly basis on how much progress we're making. So I'm asking all the time. I know that we're kind of over halfway through now in terms of the interviews with the officers. It's really important to me that we deliver on time, that we give the best evidence, the best information to the coroner for the inquests. But at the same time, I have to make sure we do it properly, we do it thoroughly. And I think that the families deserve that as much as they deserve it also being on time.
Okay, and finally, is there any new information that has been uncovered that is perhaps going to change perceptions of the disaster?
Not at this stage. I think, there's a lot of line of inquiry still being followed. We've had a major witness appeal. We're getting people talking to us who haven't spoken about it, so people talking for the first time. But, as I said, at the moment, the main priority is focusing on the inquest and gathering the evidence for the coroner.